Shout out to the women, the sisters, the queens, the one who understand the systemic dismantling of the nuclear family. Big shout outs to you. Many of you go into your platform, your TikToks, your Instagram, your Facebook, and you speak on the behalf of men because you understand what is happening in our community, what is happening in our societies, and how men are belittled, how men are constantly being emasculated, and how the system pretty much train and teach women to be independent. Yet you sisters who are out here speaking on the behalf of the nuclear family, big shout outs to you. One thing I don't understand, why do women speak for the sisterhood? Yet when a woman decides to speak on the behalf of men, that same sisterhood try to shame her, the same way in which many try to shame men. Why do you do that? What's the point of that? What happened to Black Girl Magic? What about their magic? If a woman decides that she wants to be a submissive queen to her king, that is her choice. Why would you shame her for that? You want to be able to live your life and choose to be who you want to be, and you want to be accepted for who you are. Yet you cannot accept other queens, other women who wants to have their king, who wants to have their man, who wants to be in a loving relationship, who is happy to be there to support their man, to be submissive to their man. Why do you hate these women? Why do you try to shame them? Why do you call them pygmies? And you know what? Now that I think about it, they're picked. They're having families. They're raising children. They have a future. Many of you who shame these women, who's picking you? I mean, and I'm certain you get plenty of eggplants. I'm certain you get plenty, right? But who's decided to come on one knee and say, you know what, marry me? Who's coming to you with that? And for many of you, you don't have any respect for men. And you know what? I'm not even going to blame you. Because a lot of men tolerate you. A lot of men are very feminine. A lot of men will agree with everything that you say just to get your legs open. They will do whatever you ask. They don't mind take you out when you have nothing to bring to them. They don't mind spending all of their hard-earned money on you. They don't mind. And you know what? When a man is in love with a woman that he respects, definitely he will spend his money on her. So that's not even the issue here. So I don't want you to think that because I mentioned that, he's spending money on you as a problem. No. See, the problem is many of you aren't worth a dime to be spent on. And there are suckers for men who would spend that dime on you. Many of you don't have nothing to offer to a man besides, and many of you think that's your value. Sex is the only value that many of you bring to the table. I mean, look at OF. A lot of you have made a hell of a lot of money on OF. Can't really do anything for society besides, help a man to get his jerk off. That's all. And you do it because you got to make an earning, because the men ain't nothing, right? The men ain't crap. They ain't shit, according to many of you. So you're going to use the man. And if the man want to give you money for a piece of ass, so why not, right? I get it. I'm not blaming you because you're trying to survive. You're on survival mode. You're on survival mode when you don't understand your true purpose as a queen. Right? So you're doing whatever you need to do in order to secure the bag from a man in which you have no respect for. And these men, I would hope they know that there's no respect granted to them. I would hope they know that. I hope they know that they're only there to provide a lifestyle, not to be loved. I would hope they know that. But then again, they allow it. And because so many men allow it, for many of you women, you don't see nothing wrong with your activities, with who you are. But then the problem is, right? We always have had three or fours in society. That is nothing new. Like since the beginning of time, we gonna have these three or fours, right? But the difference in today's society, that is something to be praised. It's like, you know, since the pandemic, women were speaking so heavily about going through whole phases. That was a thing. You need to go through a whole phase. And so many women bought into that idea. I mean, women used to shame other women that are hoes. Now, being a hoe is acceptable. And the women who continue to shame women that are hoes, they are being shamed by the hoes. They're being called weak and all sorts of crazy, ridiculous names. You know, yet these women are happily married, if not about to. These women have a man in their life. These women have love in their life. These women have security, protection. I would say that these women truly love themselves. I would say that these women truly honor and respect themselves. They understand how powerful they are in a man's life. And they have utilized that power for the greater good of themselves and for that man. They know that that man's happiness will bring them abundance. They know that. And many of you, you know that as well. But you use sex to bring a man happiness in order for him to provide abundance. Imagine if you were able to not just use sex, but use your mind. Being able to provide that man more than just sex, being able to provide that man a place of peace, a place where he can relax and be comfortable and be cheered and be respected. Imagine the abundance you would receive when men can come to you for whatever he may need of you, for his peace, for your softness, for your gentleness. So, women, you are very, very, very powerful beyond measure. And I know a lot of you know that. But the ways in which you have been trained to think, you're misusing your power. And you're misusing it in a way that's not going to help you. You may get all that you can get when you're young. You'll get all of the money. If you're young and beautiful, you'll get all of that stuff. You'll get a lot of eggplants as well. But what happens when you get older? There are plenty of women that are older, in their 40s and 50s, who are lonely. They don't have a man. They are lonely. You don't want to be that person. Nobody wants to be lonely. Men don't want to be lonely either. That's why you don't hear any men saying that we don't need any women. You don't hear men saying we don't need women. But you hear that constantly from women that they don't need men. The fact of the matter is, we need each other. And like I said, big shout out to the queens who understand this. The queens who are standing strong. And even, facing the criticism, the disrespect from many of their fellow sisters who do not like the fact that these women respect and honor the men in their lives. Just your thoughts. Peace.